Sunday the 29th of October 1933. Dr. Richard Spencer speaking. Today we descended down to the next floor of the structure, which appears to be the bottommost floor, and it was not quite what we expected. For a start, it is cavernous, easily rivaling the size of the main hall back at the university, with a vaulted ceiling that must have been about 60 feet high. However, despite its magnificent stature, or perhaps because of it, the shadows down there are deep. Even with the lanterns we brought with us, it was a little difficult to see. I am not ashamed to admit I found it a little daunting, and what we found down there was quite disturbing. There were more engravings on the walls, but these were quite unlike the ones on the upper floor. A number of them depicted faces in all manner of twisted, pained expressions, some so twisted as to be grotesque. The rest appeared, well, frankly, they appeared demonic. Such hideous faces staring at us with sunken eyes, their sallow cheeks stretching as their lips contorted into malicious grins. I am no stranger to uncovering pagan iconography. It can hardly be avoided in this kind of work, and I had thought myself desensitized to such through years of experience, but something about these images sent a chill down my spine. Perhaps it has to do with what else we found there. Bodies. Bodies bearing arms and armour covering a period of at least 1,200 years. From Roman lorica to mail to steel plate, about 24 bodies total. And all had gone out fighting, judging by the weapons lying close to their skeletal remains. It is a mystery. What could have drawn so many men from so many different periods in time to this place, and how did they all die here? It's clear they all came prepared for battle, but against who? How was such a remote location used for combat by so many disparate groups across such a vast period of time, and no record was left behind? There was also an altar, if one could call it that. It was more like a large block of stone standing on one end of the room. On top of the altar were 3 masks, in appearance not unlike the carvings on the walls. They were quite detailed in design too. Too detailed. One mask had a grimace of pure agony, the second a maniacal grin seemingly representing madness, and the third a look of such wrath it appeared inhuman. That last mask. Last night I had a dream, a nightmare, wherein I was pursued by a malevolent figure. I don't remember much, but I could swear that mask resembled the face of the figure in my dream. I'm not normally a superstitious man, but something within me said that these masks were not to be disturbed, so I ordered the others to leave them where they lay. This is Dr. Richard Spencer. Dr. Cartwright is dead, murdered by Mr. Worthy. According to witnesses, Mr. Worthy awoke suddenly, completely delirious, and apparently in a state of raw panic. He apparently screamed that he needed to close the gates, and mentioned something about a prisoner. Dr. Cartwright attempted to calm him down, only for Mr. Worthy to grab a trowel and drive it straight into the poor doctor's throat. Several of the labourers attempted to restrain Mr. Worthy, but they say he fought with the strength of a man possessed, and, as a result, some of the men were hurt, one quite badly. Mr. Worthy then fled the camp for parts unknown. I am unsure what the best course of action is. With the weather the way it is, organising a hunt for Mr. Worthy would be unwise. We would only be putting extra strain on our suddenly limited manpower. Still, the idea of leaving him out there sits unwell with me. I am not only concerned for his safety, but ours. What if he returns intent upon doing us ill? Worse, what if he should return in the dead of night when we are all asleep? I shall need to make sure a proper night watch is set.